I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop, and today we're going to make the Fat Eighth Flip pattern. Super easy, so go to fatquartershop.com and download the Fat Eighth Flip pattern, and we'll get started. All you need to make this quilt is one Fat Eighth bundle or 32 Fat Eighths. Fat Eighths measure 9 by 20 inches, and the great thing is you don't have to add any kind of background fabrics. I'm using the Lakeside Gatherings flannel by Moda fabrics, and since it's flannel, we don't recommend starching, and this free pattern comes in 3 sizes: throw, queen, and king. You're going to cut all 32 of your Fat Eighths into 7.5 by 20 inch rectangles. So you're going to have 32 of those to make the throw size. And you're just going to take 4 of them for the first block and sew them together. I definitely would recommend pinning in several spots. Now flannel, when you sew with it, is not going to stretch as easily as cotton. So just keep that in mind. So you're going to make 8 of these for the throw size. Once you sew these together with a 1/4 inch seam, it's going to look like this. And the most important thing you're going to want to do is just press everything one direction. So press this direction, and now we're going to start subcutting. Another thing to know from flannel is your seams are going to be thicker, meaning they're going to look bumpier because there's more fabric there, and that is quite okay. So from each of these, basically, we're going to do the flip. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to cut each of these into 2 7.5 inch rectangles and 1 3.5 inch rectangle. So what I'm going to do, because all of this is super long, I'm going to kind of cut on the diagonal so I have enough room to cut and to get it on the mat. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a ruler that's wider than 6.5. So this one's 8.5, and I'll just cut halfway up and then move. So what you can do to keep your ruler in place is put your blade here and just move up. So when I started, I did use a line on the ruler to go this way so that you make sure that this is a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to cut a 7.5 inch strip first, and that's why I'm using a wider ruler, just to make it easier. So 7.5. Now with flannel, it's a little bit thicker, so you do have to push a little bit harder on your rotary cutter. So I've got a 7.5 inch piece. I'm going to cut a 3.5 inch piece. And then one more 7.5 inch piece. And then you're going to keep these 3 fabrics together. So you'll put them back the way you had them, with all the fabrics going the same way, and then you're going to flip the center. And that creates the flip. From here, you're going to pin in every intersection, sew with a 1/4 inch seam, and press one direction. So either down or up, either way. Then you'll add the second piece, and your unit will end up looking just like this. Now for the throw size, you're going to make 8. So for the throw, you're going to go ahead and make a total of 8 blocks, and then put them in a stack where all of that ending seam is going the same direction. So these two, if you try to put these 2 seams together, they would not nest because they're going the same direction. So again, we're going to flip this block, and now our seams nest. And you can see that right here. You're going to pin and put that together. You're going to make 4 rows and then put all of the 4 rows together. Now looking at this block, this is a great pattern for flannel because with flannel, you don't want to have too many seams. And it's also great for anything that has a really big print, like a cave print or a Tula Pink print, because that will let the fabric really shine. So when you're looking at the quilt, you can see visually this is one block and this is another block. And the key to making this quilt is just flipping. So like I said, when you make the rows, you flip it. When you add these 2, you flip. When you go to add the 2 rows together, just flip it whichever way the seams nest and sew it together. This quilt should only take maybe 4 hours, and I can't wait to see all of the quilts you make. So you guys have been asking for a manly design for quite a while, so I hope you love this. Subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.